out of the other candidates that are running for president, I clearly have more bargaining experience, and I think that's an important distinction, and it's not something you can learn on the job. It's something you have to be able to do when you start the job. You have to be able to lead bargaining across the country, and I think I have that experience, but I'm also really excited about the fact that our team has a number of very experienced and seasoned bargainers. I'm running with obviously Katha and Naureen Rizvi, Linda McNeil, and Carmen Ladurny. They all have extensive bargaining experience, and our team also has all of the assistants. Shane and Deb and Chris are all supporting me, and I think that's an important part of our team as we go into inflation at an all-time high. Cost of living going through the roof. We need to bargain. We're going to need to bargain, and it's in our platform. But as you guys have made it abundantly clear, retirees have to be part of that conversation when it comes to retirement. Inflation and cost of living is getting extremely difficult for retirees. We have to make bargaining at the table a priority for retirees, and that's what we want to do. Obviously, the first question out of everybody's mouth is PCOLA. I don't know that we're ever going to get PCOLA back again, but we're always going to fight for it, and I think we need to make it an important part of the next round of bargaining. And you'll see in our platform, we have a couple ideas about how to build a capacity with the retirees. We want to make sure that the dollar dues is automatic on retirement, that we get those dues. We think there's a way to improve on how we get the penny funds. I think it shouldn't just be the auto companies that are putting into the retiree penny funds. So we need to get after the Air Canadas, the Bells, the Resolutes, the Irvings, the big employers, Suncors. They need to come to the plate or come to the pump in Suncors and start paying into the retiree penny funds and start to finance the retirees. You guys do an amazing job for us as an organization. Barb has the numbers and she sent it to, but I know there was hundreds of you at the Co-op refinery. I know there was like 50 of you at Gander, I think, or 30. Like you guys, every time we have a dispute, you're there. Every time we have a rally of any sort, you're always there. You always come to the, when it comes to political action, you do so much work for our union, and you've built our entire union. You're the reason we're able to do this work every single day, and we can't forget that, and we want to expand on that. So I think I'll let Naureen and Katha talk about some of the other stuff, but for me, I'll stay with the retirees. I really think that there's other things that we can do. You'll see in the platform. I think we need to go to the regional councils and find a way to get a spot on the regional council executive for retirees. On all the other spots, we do have places, and we don't need a constitutional change to do that. We just go to them and make you one of the retiree position, one of the standing committee positions, so it's not adding to the positions. I think we can convince the regional councils to do that. Again, I'll let Naureen and Katha talk a little bit about themselves and our platform. If I've missed anything that's really important, I think you guys know where we stand on a number of the other things. You've seen scottdoherty.ca. If you haven't, go to it and you'll see all of our platforms and pillars. But I really think we're gaining momentum every single day. We're really excited about the convention. I'm really excited about moving our union forward. I think what Jerry did. I guess I'll touch on the Jerry thing. What Jerry did was inexcusable, but it was a mistake that one person made. It's not everybody. The union is not defined by that. The great work that we've done as an organization shouldn't be getting trampled through the mud and not being recognized as all the great work that we've done. You guys are experienced. You've been around a long time. I don't know that we would ever let an employer treat one of our members the way that we've treated our former president, and I find that disheartening, and I find it, I think it's the reason why there's a split in our organization and a divide in our organization. Our team didn't want to see this happen. We tried very hard. I tried very hard to be the one to make sure that we didn't have the team break apart, but it did break apart. It is what it is. We have a divide. We have to get past it, and August is going to get that done. And I'm confident that with the help of my entire team, because this isn't going to be about me, this is about our team, it's about our members, we're going to make Unifor better than it already is. It's not broken and it's not destroyed. We're going to make it better in the years to come. That's our goal. That's what we want to do. And retirees have to be a key part of that, and they will be a key part of anything that we do in our organization. So I'll let Katha speak and then Naureen.
I can't imagine. I mean, most of you know I've had the healthcare file and serviced in healthcare. I've been the director in the former CW. You guys have always been there for us, whether it's a lobby, getting on a bus and going to Queen's Park. You've all been fantastic. So I know everyone pretty well, some more than others, but I've I think people might remember when we joined the union back in 2000, there was about 20,000 healthcare workers that CAW rescued from our international union, and we caused a bit of a disruption in the labor movement. I remember actually meeting Arnie at our first CLC conference in Vancouver after we rejoined. It was a really amazing supportive welcome in our union. The Canadian Auto Workers always put healthcare on the agenda, and the auto workers and other workers in the sectors were always very supportive. So I'm from Nipissing. I'm a nurse. I worked in a rural hospital, and my local is 229 in Thunder Bay. And it's an amalgamated local. I was a full-time vice president for a few years and went on staff of CAW in Windsor. Buzz hired me back in early 2005, and I serviced in Windsor for 8.5 years. It was really interesting and fun years living in Windsor. And again, I had incredible support from retirees on the Healthcare Council, or the Healthcare Coalition in Windsor as well. When we formed Unifor, Ken asked me to run for the position of Ontario Director, so I was the first Ontario Director. Of course, Naureen.
The best one yet.
I might have said that once.
Noreen has taken over and obviously done an incredible job. And then 6 years ago, Jerry asked me to come on as an assistant. Listen, I love being an assistant. I love the work. I've never had a bad job in this union. When we get to fight for workers, the last 2 years of the pandemic has been incredibly challenging on our members. I think of our healthcare workers who, lived in a trailer outside of their workplace for 60 days, and I think about, 2 PSWs that died. It sometimes makes me a little angry. That the irony is about, the narrative that this is the worst thing that's ever happened. This whole Jerry Dias issue it's not the worst thing that ever happened. Our members have been through far worse. And, we have to respect that and put that in perspective. So I wasn't in my life plan to run for Secretary Treasurer. I was pretty happy being an assistant. But I really felt strongly in Scott's leadership in this team. I believe that the job of the president, as an assistant, and Shane will say this many, many times, our job is, we're a bit of a firefighter. We go in when there's trouble. We go in when there's strike deadlines, when there's strikes that we're trying to resolve. And, we need a president that understands all of that, that's been there. We need a president that's been through the ranks and knows how to, that they've written a grievance. They know health and safety. They've fought for their members. They've bargained collective agreements in good times and bad times. I mean, we've all stood in front of an angry mob sometimes at a ratification meeting. I mean, those are the experiences that you learn from. And Scott has that experience, and that's really what he brings to the table, and that's why I'm running for Secretary Treasurer on his team.
When we came as the CEP and CAW together as Unifor, I think it was the retirees, Maria, Sandy, who you guys were probably the first ones I saw at one of the convention halls, and so welcoming. It was unbelievable. It was my first experience as a new union, and I remember sitting in a little group, and Ken Lorenzo was like, break the silos, get together with everybody. And it was like we just hadn't met anybody, and it was you that had sort of come up and we're family now. And it was just such a huge jump immediately into that. We're just family, we're done, everyone's together, and it's been the same experience I've had every single time I meet you, and Maria, sometimes it's at picket lines, but mostly, like Katha said, every time there's something in Ontario, and there always is, because that's the biggest bulk of our membership, our largest region, it's always about call the director for this, for the area, do an outreach to the locals. Barb's got her folks down solid, get her on a call, and you know what? You always come, and that's for me really important. But I also know why you did that. You built this place. I think it was always expected that you'll always be in every fight with us. So just briefly, maybe some of you already know this. I started in 1996 at Bell Canada. I was a local president. I did sort of the rounds, the steward, chief steward, health and safety treasurer, and then I was elected local president for a couple of terms, and I came on staff in 2004. Then we merged with the CEP, and Barb was my boss. And so, right? Yeah, I survived that. I'm here to tell the story, so I've lived it. But anyways, I came up through the pipes there, and I came on staff and continued with the CEP, and then we became Unifor. And it was exciting. Today, I absolutely love it. I feel like it's in my blood. And I wake up every single day ready to go. It never shuts off about our members and what we need to do. It's constantly in my mind, and so I know now it's absolutely in my DNA. This is the team that I want to work with. I believe in Scott. I believe in his leadership. I believe our president needs to have bargaining experience. He's got it all. We've seen it. You want to have a leader who can inspire people, who can take them out, but also walk them back in, right? I mean, that's an important part as well. You can influence people to take them out, but do you have the influence to also say, okay, this is it, or we come back to fight another day? And I think I've seen Scott do that, and I've seen him raise the profile of our union through every labor dispute, understanding that the public needs to be on side. So what is that message? How do we get community and public on side? And it's not one person who built our union. It's everybody together.